It's the Brad and John Show.
It is the Brad and John Show. Today's date is the 12th of January. Man, it got to be the 12th already. We're almost halfway through January. How can that be, John?
Well, I don't know. In general, I think that's how math works. And I just got a promotional text, by the way. A company called Bimply Sella. They say they're no longer doing Brazilians. They say they're doing a thing called Italians now. They take all that hair from one place and they put it on a woman's upper lip.
John. Okay. Seriously, though, as these protests, to me, this has gotten out of control. And the crazy part of this is that, let's be honest, where does the blame lay? Where does the blame lay for this crazy situation?
President Joe Biden. It all started with open borders.
And every time that self-righteous big jerkazoid Alejandro Mayorkas, did I get his name that right that time?
Yeah. He would go before Congress, and what would he say, Brad?
The border is secure. The border is secure. And meanwhile, they would, matter of fact, I remember seeing this on a YouTube channel where somebody had done a two frame with Mayorkas on the left saying the border is secure, and a live picture of Fox with Griff Jenkins, and the other guy was Bill Maloogian, the two guys who worked the border down there. People streaming across the border, like by the thousands, literally swimming across the river. What was the bridge they all huddled underneath? And what was the city? It was Eagle Pass, Texas, whatever it was.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
And the border is secure. The border is secure. And the crazy part of this is not that I'm saying, wow, isn't Trump wonderful? But wasn't it like the first week? Wasn't it, if we go back like almost a year ago, I think was like January, he was inaugurated on the 21st. Wasn't it last year that by January 30th of 2025, the border was secure? If you just look at the stats at the number of people that came through, it dropped precipitously almost immediately. Because of the fact that the word got out that, guess what? We're not letting you in, and if you do get in, we're going to come find you. I don't get this whole thing. I don't understand it. And you know what? I'm all for immigrants. Matter of fact, the interesting part of this is I shop from time to time at Costco. I go to the new Costco business, okay? Do you know where the new Costco business store is?
No, where is it?
It's at 170 in the Rock Road. It's sort of interesting. You got a new Costco, a regular retail store, or whatever they call it, wholesale club at Olive and 170. You go up two exits, and it's the business center, which is the first one they've done in the St. Louis area, and it's aimed toward business people. Okay, I go in there. I'm the only person just about speaking English, and all these people are in there buying because it's geared at businesses, and it's probably geared more than anything like restaurants because they have.
So what's the ethnicity there?
All over the board. I mean,
you're saying like, are you talking Bosnians or Chinamen or who's going in there?
All over the board. And they all are checking out with sometimes literally thousands of dollars worth of stuff, carts, literally 6 feet high in those carts and things like that. And I talked to one of the guys one time, and he says he runs a restaurant. And to the point where I saw it the other day, this is sort of interesting because they have stuff there you can't buy. I don't know any place else you can buy this kind of stuff. The first time I saw it, when the first place opened, I got an invite to go take a look at it, and I saw in the refrigerated section like these big hunks of meat hanging from a hook, like a hunk of meat that's like maybe 5 feet long. Okay. And it's some kind of halal kind of food or something like that. It's some kind of a meat, and it's like some animal that they chop up, and they got like a whole side of an animal there, hanging in there. And it's something the Islamics eat that kind of food?
Yeah. And I know very little about that, but all I know is it's something that Muslims embrace, right?
Okay, so these are people who I assume have become American citizens, and they're busting their butt by running restaurants and working and stuff like that. They're not sitting back, ripping off the government, and to the point where now the videos are come out. Have you seen the videos of the people who are dropping their kids off the daycare center? They walk in, they sign them up, and then they walk back out with the kids. Okay, what is that all about? You know what that deal is?
Yeah. Well, it also underscores what you've mentioned in the last 2 weeks, which is, where was Minnesota Public Radio?
Yes.
Now, I'm sure they were doing what St. Louis Public Radio has up today, which is talking about the horrible systemic racism of childbirth and how childbirth is incredibly racist. But I'm guessing Minnesota Public Radio had more important things to cover than Somali fraud.
No, as you said, what did she say? Your classic comment when the Riverfront Times went dark, and you said, what did you, I can't remember. I have to find that somewhere.
We must find that. Yeah. It's something, was it about transgenders or what was
no,
it about?
It was something about where were the so-and-so people, be able to find out what band is playing at some place on the Grove, and where were they able to find their best deals on Bud or something like that? I mean,
yeah, it's something like that. I mean, those are important beats to cover for public radio.
The other thing is,
by the way, we should congratulate St. Louis Public Radio for starting another week without going under. I was completely convinced that St. Louis Public Radio would no longer be here if Corporation for Public Broadcasting went away. I had sold some of my coffee mugs and tote bags actually to help raise money for them.
Here's the other thing, John. And this is me being the jerkazoid and making fun of St. Louis Public Radio. Have you ever gone on the website over the weekend?
I went this morning. I went every day this weekend.
I'm not talking about today. I'm saying over the weekend.
I did. I go every day over the weekend.
Do you see a lot of new content on the weekend?
No, I would say it essentially goes dark over the weekend.
Exactly.
No, I go to, and I don't mean to step on your point, but every morning I go to see if there's anything new to put on johncombest.com. And in general, it's a wasted click, but I go there anyway just to make sure there's nothing new.
With a staff of 34 reporters, and I have to recount again. If you don't believe me, you can go to STLPR. You can clear. I'll tell you how to do it. You click on STLPR. I'll do it right now. You go to maybe they took it off. Oh, you click on About STLPR. Then you go to Staff, and you look at the thing and here we got the staff, Chief Development Officer, and there's 8 people on there. News. Alex Hewer is the air executive producer, and there's thumbnail after thumbnail after thumbnail after thumbnail of people who are in the news department. You don't think that any of them, if each of them turned out one story a day, they would have an incredible website. I mean, John, if you got a full-time job and someone said to you, John, I know you're an expert PR guy. All I ask is one good press release a day. How easy would that job be for you, John?
I would say, thank you for hiring me here at state government. I would say I'll work for 90 minutes and then go take a nap in my car. No, your point's well taken, Brad. I would point people at the risk of changing the subject, which I don't mean to do. If folks haven't seen Jason Rosenbaum's Instagram reel, and I believe he's also on TikTok, and Brad, I believe he's also on Boomer Facebook. He did a series of shots from the Capitol last week in which he employed a Lite Brite type face mask. I haven't texted him about this. I need to text him because it was so good. Where it's clearly a toy that he has for his kids that's a Lite Brite type thing where you can change the facial expression. And he used it in the Capitol, and it was just a phenomenal reel.
And Jason is so good at what he does. I mean, don't you think? I mean, John, that's like the ultimate team thing, okay? If you're in a team, you've played team sports before, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and there's typically one, especially when you're dealing with kids and stuff like that, there's usually one kid on the team who is head and shoulders above the rest. Wouldn't you agree with me on that?
That's fair. Absolutely.
Okay, but what that does is it doesn't make the other kids go, oh my God, I can't be as good as him. I'm not going to even try. It makes them all try to be the best. Don't you agree?
Absolutely it does, Brad. And particularly when that teammate holds them to a higher standard.
Right.
And I would point out, as I pointed out privately to people before, another great thing about Rosenbaum is when you see Jason Rosenbaum with a Lite Brite mask, or you see him doing the pillar effect or anything cool that he does with video, because of the fact that Jason's resume is so deep and because he's so qualified, he can and does experiments with stuff that if it was his first day at St. Louis Public Radio, people would say, what's this guy doing with a wacky Lite Brite mask? But because he's so good, it gives him the freedom to do fun stuff that captures attention, that gets people to stop scrolling and actually watch. And that's the benefit of being so qualified at your job like Jason is, that you have the license to do that.
But you're making my point exactly why Jason Rosenbaum shines in that whole era, okay? In our field of radio, okay? You can look at, and I know some people are going to, their ears are going to burn when I can say, you go back to the Rush Limbaugh days. Rush Limbaugh was an ex-disc jockey. He understood timing. He understood format clocks. He understood that if you're going to be a good DJ, you have to be relatable and you have to have a sense of humor to make people laugh, okay? And the problem is, like when I turn on Tracy's station, I want to shoot myself because it's, to the point where I shouldn't tell you this, John, I'm not a drinking guy. I got together with some buddies over the weekend. We had the Rhino drinking game. We listened to...
Yeah, how does that game work?
We listened to Tracy Ellis' station, and every time we heard the word Rhino, we took a drink. I was passed out in the first 20 minutes. I mean, it's to the point... And the point being, it's like listening to Mark Levin, okay? Or it's like listening to the old Michael Savage, okay? I can go to a dysfunctional family and hear people yell at each other. I don't need to go listen to the radio. I want to have people who entertain me. And the show that comes on in 6 minutes, or actually in 8 minutes from right now, Armstrong and Getty, these guys are sharp. They are on top of things going on, and they are funny. And I love listening to the show. And to a certain extent, not to pat ourselves on the back.
Pat yourself on the back, Brad.
The feedback that I get from people who listen to our show is they say it gets a little bit of wacky at times, and we have fun, and you making fun of me all the time, and we have fun of making fun of other people, and we don't beat people over the head. Oh, you're a rhino, you're a rhino, you're a rhino, we don't like you, you're a rhino.
Yeah, that's true. And pardon the interruption here. First of all, most of the feedback, people say John should be meaner to you, Brad. That's generally what people say. But let's go back to A segment real quick, A block real quick. The reason why I love Annie Fry's show is because that team, Ryan Recker and Annie and those guys, are never mad at the world. And if I listen to other stations, everybody's mad.
Yes.
And I'm going to play the old man here card real quick, Brad, in our last minute. I came of age in the 90s as a conservative and as a conservative Republican, where we were a minority in everything. And today, in 2026, we have the governor's office, we have supermajorities in the legislature, we have both senators, et cetera. We're about to have a 7-1 congressional map. We have nothing to be mad about. Yet I turn on conservative radio and everybody's angry.
Exactly,
and that's what
John.
I love about Annie's show. They have fun, and that's what makes her show unique.
I couldn't agree with you more. And it's the whole thing that, like, when I turn on Tracy's station, it's like, okay, I don't want to be yelled at. I don't want to be. And the thing about it is that that's like my running joke of, Tracy and everybody, they call everybody Rhino. I call her a Kino, which stands for Christian in name only. Now, I'm surprised I haven't gotten the cease and desist letter, which would be my second one from her. But the problem with it is, if I'm a good Christian, do I go around calling people names, John? Do I do that?
You don't. But what you do is you have old ladies come on to promote their Rise and Run political workshop, and you can find more details. And you can also find out how to sign up for the Rise and Run Women's Empowerment Workshop. Brad, it's amazing how when she was on our show on Thursday, she didn't tell you that the official title has the phrase Women's Empowerment in it. It's amazing how she omitted that. Anyway, you can find out how to sign up for this event, January 30th and 31st, today by going to johncombest.com.
John, here we go. Here we go again, John. There's one of my favorite things. John, I don't know what I'd do without you. You start my day off so good every day. And John, I truly appreciate you, and I'm glad we're into our third year of doing. Actually, this is the fourth year, isn't it?
This is our fourth year, Brad. I feel the same for you. And as an emotional avoidant, I'm gonna just make fun of you because I can't handle emotional intimacy. And I say you would sound so much better if you got your gallbladder back.
Okay, we started in 23. We started November 23. So this is not, we haven't completed 4 years, but we've been on the air 23, 24, 25, and 26. So 4 years. Okay.
And the world is better for it. Brad, I'd love to stay, but I got to go take some measurements of the room in Lindenwood because, I'm sneaking in a dress. Dennis Spellman says hi.